Welcome to the Astrology Show with your host, Kelli Fox. Each week, Kelli will give you access to the current transits that are a valuable tool which provide astrological information to help unlock the potential each of us has through our sun sign. Understanding the current planetary influences each week can help steer us in the right direction to make better informed choices. Sometimes, events in your life may seem completely random, but there is a pattern to the order of these events, one set in motion in part by you, and in part by the planets and stars in the sky and their influence on your life here on Earth. So if you're wondering what's going to happen in your week ahead, if you're going to get that promotion, move to a new city, or fall in love, tune in to the Astrology Show for guidance. It can help you anticipate problems before they occur, give you tools to cope with changes, and help you look forward to the wonderful days ahead. Kelli Fox is a professional astrologer and internet pioneer who launched astrology.com, one of the first and most successful astrology websites. Today, her passion lies with her new site, theastrologer.com, where she brings a modern-day approach to an ancient wisdom. Please join Kelli each week to learn more about how the planets can align for you.
Hi there, welcome to the Astrology Show. I'm your host and astrologer, Kelli Fox. This week's show, I'm going to talk to you about the signs of the Zodiac. I thought I'd take a step back and start at the very beginning. So, with the signs, there are 12 signs of the Zodiac, one for each month of the year. But unfortunately, the signs and the calendar don't align perfectly. And that's always a question I get asked a lot is, well, is January Capricorn or is it Aquarius? Well, it's both. And so what that is, it's the month, the start of any sign starts towards the end of each month. It can be a little bit confusing, but it's best to keep in mind that it's not aligned perfectly with the calendar. So the start of the Zodiac begins in mid-March and not on January 1st. Just get the calendar idea out of your mind. It really is about its own type of calendar. It's the natural cycle or the natural rhythm. And the signs span from roughly the 20th or the 21st of each month to the 19th or 20th of the next month. So the easiest way to think of that is just to remember that the signs don't start at the beginning of each month. So when someone asks you what sign you are, they're referring to your sun sign. And so what that means is it's the position that the sun was in the Zodiac at the exact moment of your birth. And so there's also all the other planets calculated within a birth chart. But today I'm only talking about the sun and the sun's sign. And the sun is the most powerful force in our solar system. It's technically not a planet, it's a star. But astrologers refer to the sun and the moon as planets just to keep life simple because there are so many exceptions and complications to astrology itself. So it also explains when there's not just a sun sign, say we're talking about Capricorns, and you might know 3 Capricorns and they might be completely different. It's because it's not just about the energy of Capricorn, having a sun sign in Capricorn. It's also about all the other planets in all the signs. So that might explain why everyone who's born under the influence of a sun sign can have such vastly different personalities. So each of us is made up of a complex and unique combination of the influences from the 12 signs, the 12 houses, and all the planets, asteroids, points, etc. I know I'm getting a little bit complicated, but I just wanted to give you a bit of background to astrology and starting at the beginning with a sun sign. But each sign of the zodiac is associated with a particular symbol, and it's typically an animal, although it's an object. And I'll be covering that in the show today, what each sign's characteristics are, their symbol, their element, their quality. So, for example, Aries is the ram, Taurus is the bull, Gemini is an air sign, and I like to start everything in order. And the order of the zodiac is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And there is a certain pattern to the signs as well. So you have, when it comes to the elements, it's fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, and so on. And then when you have the qualities, which is cardinal, fixed, and mutable, it's cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. So typically, and I'll do another show as well about compatibility, which I keep promising, but I thought it's best to start with the signs first and then do another show about compatibility. But basically, when you have signs of the same element, so the fire signs being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, there is a compatibility between signs of the same element. Okay, so the first sign of the zodiac is Aries, and that's approximately March 21st through April 19th. And each year it can vary by a day or two. So the dates I give you are just approximations. And so Aries is symbolized by the ram, which is extremely appropriate because this sign is headstrong and impulsive and won't often back down from a challenge or confrontation. So if you're an Aries or you have any Aries in your life, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. While confrontations can be exciting, they can also lead to a frustrating locking of horns with an imagined or real foe. And that, in a nutshell, explains a significant part of the Aries experience. Aries, anytime I see someone who is an Aries or has planets in Aries, I know they're a brave warrior. And sometimes the karma of Aries is dealing with their fears. Now, Aries is a cardinal fire sign that's ruled by Mars, the planet of passion. And Aries is one of the strongest, most impulsive and courageous signs of the zodiac. This sign is fearless when it comes to challenge and conquest. And that can apply to love as well as any other kind of adventure. And Aries in a relationship will pursue a relationship with the same single-minded energy that they'll apply to any other project. And Aries doesn't often let obstacles keep them from reaching their goals. That's why an interaction with an Aries equals big excitement. So sometimes, though, the excitement can verge toward agitation. So Aries is as hot-blooded as it is warm-hearted, which can mean a fiery temper to match that strong drive. So Aries gets mad fast, and when it doesn't get what it wants, well, it will rarely hold a grudge. So Aries tends to do things quickly and move on quickly as well. Aries believes there's too much to do and see that holding a grudge is just a complete waste of time or clinging to old outmoded emotions. While another sign will be still stewing in its juices, Aries is already jumping head first into the next adventure. Very exciting sign. Next, the second sign we have is Taurus. Taurus is symbolized by the bull. And if you are a Taurus or know any Taurians, you'll be probably smiling. Taurus is a sign that is very stubborn and tends to dig in its heels when faced with the need to step aside or change its course. But Taurus is also one of the strongest signs of the zodiac, and can pull its own weight and then some when necessary. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and Taurus defines stability, which can get a little dull for some other signs. But this sign can sometimes become a stick in the mud. And thank goodness, though, it's ruled by Venus, the love planet. Venus lends Taurus a healthy dose of sensuality and a pleasure-loving streak about a mile wide. That's why so many Taurians are built sturdily, with strong bones and muscles and some extra meat on their frames. They love to eat rich, delicious foods almost as much as they love lying around cuddling with their sweeties. The bulls are charmers, and I can think of a few in my life that are definitely that. And they're in touch with all the sensual pleasures of life, which means they can sometimes get a little bit lazy. And after all, why work hard when life is so deliciously enjoyable? Taurus has a strong back that's made for hard work and an excellent grasp of resources. While this sign won't shy away from spending a nice chunk of cash on something that's really worth it, like a new gorgeous outfit or a luxurious dinner at a 5-star restaurant, it also knows when the credit card is maxed out and it's time to pull back. Taurus is realistic, that is for sure. So Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac, is symbolized by the twins. Those playful, mischievous little beings that speak perfectly to the heart of a Gemini. After the break, I will continue with Gemini and the rest of the zodiac signs.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Dr. Kevin here. And I want to invite you every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to join me on the Dr. Kevin Show, where we have a diversity of guests who help you step outside the box, behind the curtain, and see what a load of crap is going on in the world today, so you have more information with which to make better decisions. We'll see you there. Namaste.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi there, welcome back to the Astrology Show. I'm your host and astrologer, Kelli Fox. And in this week's show, I'm talking to you about the zodiac signs and what they mean, the characteristics of each of the signs and their associations. So just before the break, I was up to Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac. And as I said, Gemini is symbolized by the twins, and they can be very playful, mischievous, and they describe Gemini quite perfectly. So and actually I'd have to say that Gemini is probably the most playful sign of the zodiac. Gemini has the energy of two people, hence why they're symbolized by the twins. Gemini has a lot of diverse interests and urges that go with that as well. Gemini is a mutable air sign that's ruled by Mercury, the communication planet. And Gemini is all about communication and the intellect. And so this sign's best friend is someone who will stay up late with them discussing everything under the sun. Gemini is quick-witted and highly observant. Geminis don't miss much at all. They have an agile sense of humor and a real need for freedom, intellectual, romantic, and otherwise. Geminis like to play around a lot, including in their love life. There are just so many interesting people out there, according to Gemini. And it just means that they want to learn. They're lifelong learners, very curious about life. And that means they also tend to get bored fast. And Geminis like to intellectualize their feelings, so they're not much for sentimentality and deep, gooey, emotional bonding. Geminis like to keep things at a surface level as much as they can. They are also indecisive because they have so many divergent interests and urges that they may not know which one to follow first. As a result, some may find Geminis to be wishy-washy, changing their minds with zero notice. But what they lack in steadfastness, they make up in spades in excitement. There is never a dull moment with a Gemini. So this sign has a well-deserved reputation as the life of the party. It's also extra fun to have Gemini along with you on a road trip or a bookstore or even the theatre. Anywhere really, Geminis are loads of fun. And I have many, many Gemini friends and always have over the years. The next sign of the zodiac is Cancer. Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac. And so with the Cancer is very nurturing. Oh, and the date for Cancer is June 22nd, approximately through July 22nd. So if you know anybody born during this time period, their sun sign will be Cancer. So Cancer is symbolized by the crab, which makes a lot of sense when you take that sensitive, emotional nature into account. When things get tense, Cancer goes into their self-protection mode, pulling into its shell until the trouble clears. So hence why Cancer's symbol is the crab. Now the crab likes to carry its home on its back. Cancer has a reputation of being domestic, loves anything to do with the home or anything domestic, nurturing, cooking, taking care of others. So it's quite convenient to carry your home on your back with you. Cancer is a cardinal water sign. It's very emotional. It's ruled by the moon, which explains that ultra-sensitive moodiness. Now, the moon is the ruler of the emotions. But Cancer isn't all about protecting itself, not even close. This sign is the caretaker of the zodiac, who will go to great lengths to keep its loved ones safe and supported. Cancers are nothing if not deeply connected with their families and will do anything for their friends as well, even if it doesn't always seem like it. Cancers really do have that reputation of being very moody. But I think Cancer likes to retreat within itself, and others may perceive that as moodiness. So it can come across as a very introverted sign, but that doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means that they're going internal. Sometimes this sign can get so emotional that it doesn't know how to express itself. And again, there's that handy shell home on the back that Cancer is ready to retreat into. And for this reason, Cancers need to surround themselves with caring types who understand their moods, which can fluctuate as often as the moon. And that is every day. And you know, the moon changes sign every 2.5 days. And so in return, this sign will offer its friends and family the gift of steadfast devotion and support. Now, if you're a Cancer or you have Cancers in your life, think to how they are. They really are very loyal and caring and really excellent caretakers. And so Cancer's interest in family goes deeper than the immediate present. This sign is a natural historian with its interest in ancestry, genealogy, and lineage. It's like the sign of Cancer rules where we come from. It's who we are from our maternal and paternal lines. So this sign is just as happily to spend hours mapping their family tree as they are cooking up a feast for their loved ones. So that's Cancer, the 4th sign of the zodiac. It's a water sign. It's a cardinal sign. Cardinal is an initiator. I'm not sure if I mentioned previously, Aries is also a cardinal sign. Cancer's a cardinal sign. Libra and Capricorn, they are the initiators of the zodiac. They're the trendsetters. These signs are the ones that get things going. The fixed signs of the zodiac are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So these signs are the ones that can see things through to the end. They are the signs that will hang on and get things done. Gemini, the 3rd sign of the zodiac, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, these signs are the mutable signs of the zodiac, and the mutable signs are the ones that are very flexible. They're the ones that can go with the flow, not so stuck or stubborn. Now, as I said in the beginning of the show, I'm just talking about sun signs today. And if you know, say, for example, if you know a Gemini, and I just said they're very flexible and easygoing, they might have a lot of planets in Taurus or any other fixed signs, so they might come across as being very stubborn or digging their heels in, even though they're a mutable, flexible Gemini. So with astrology, it's very complex, it's very complicated. It's a combination of all things, of all planets in all the different signs at the time we were born. So when we're talking about what sign we are, we're talking about our sun sign. The sun sign, the sun is the core of who we are. It's what we are made up of. And it's dependent on the date we are born. So now I'm going to move on to Leo. Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac. And Leo, the dates for Leo are approximately July 23rd through August 22nd. And again, as I said in the beginning of the show, it can vary. The dates can vary from year to year. Not by much. It's usually just a day, occasionally a day or two days, but usually it's within a day. And the time always varies. So the time down to the minute is very important in astrology. Timing is everything. And so with astrology, the time that a sign changes can also be very important. And I have seen over the years people born on cusps, and it's very confusing as well, and I will address that later, about cusps at the end of the show. I'll talk about cusps, And a cusp is when you were born right at the time that the sun changes sign. And that can be very confusing. So that's why the birth time can be very important to determine what sign you actually are. And typically it's not both, it's one or the other. And you might have influences from the other planets affecting the characteristics of your sun sign. So Leo, as I just said, is July 23rd through August 22nd, approximately. And Leo is the fifth sign of the Zodiac, and it's symbolized by the lion. And this sign is all about leadership, pride, warmth, courage, and strength. Leo is the king or queen of the jungle. Leo makes a great leader, a great manager, a great supervisor. Leo likes the attention. And it does bring a little touch of its own drama to boot as well. Leo has a real taste for the exciting and the dramatic, which makes for a stimulating friend indeed. Leo, as I said, is a fixed sign. It's a fire sign. The other fire signs are Aries and Sagittarius, so there's a great connection between those three signs. And Leo is ruled by the sun, the brightly shining sun. And as I said, Leo loves to be the center of attention, and in a good way, of course. And like any good drama queen, it can get pretty stubborn when it doesn't get its own way. There are a lot of actors born under the sign of Leo, and that's because their bigger-than-life personalities are made for the stage. They have a healthy sense of their own egos, and they adore being in the spotlight. We're going to take a quick break, and after the break, we'll continue with Leo and the rest of the Zodiac.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes.
Hi, this is Julie Geigel.
And I'm Alicia Isaacs-Howes.
And I'm Catherine Glass.
And we're the Psychic Angel Channelers. You can find us every week here on OMTimes Radio at Angel Talk Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
The angels have heard your call and are here to help.
Are you ready to receive?
Remember your magnificence with Angel Talk Tuesday.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Spiritual, metaphysical, green living, psychic, alternative healing, life coaching. Do any of these or similar terms apply to your business or cause? If so, you are in a niche market with a very specific audience. Conscious Gate PR is the world's leading conscious public relations agency. With a global reach of over 4 million and growing, we offer comprehensive media campaigns to our targeted market. Learn more at ConsciousGatesPR.com. Conscious marketing for conscious minds.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Hi there, welcome back to the Zodiac. And so just before the break, I was talking about Leo. Leo is the fifth sign of the Zodiac. It's a fixed fire sign, loves being the center of attention, but it also takes care of others as well. Leo has a larger than life personality. That's why you find so many actors in Hollywood born under the sign of Leo. But despite what can seem like egotism, Leos make wonderful, wonderful devoted friends. Loyalty is one of their strongest points. If you're a Leo or you have Leos in your life, think to how loyal a Leo really is. That's as long as they feel that they're getting the proper attention and respect from their loved ones. They'll return the favour with grand gestures of devotion. But if they're not, look out. They can act like spoiled little brats. So grand gestures are in fact one of Leo's favourite things. Leo is a fiercely romantic sign who will go to great dramatic lengths to woo the object of their desire. The movie Totally, so Leo Pop Feast, so people ball-eyes by the Virgin, a wild side. Once you get to know the Virgo, of course.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Are you wondering what is really going on behind the news? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold-Holland on Share on the Air Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us on shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for. Check it out.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
What if living didn't have to be so serious?
What if you could move beyond your problems with greater confidence and ease than you've ever imagined?
Throw your labels out the window and join the Irreverent Therapist for practical tips and a very different way of approaching the changes you would like to create.
Marilyn Bradford
and Pam Hodling
have empowered hundreds of people to come out of self-judgment, quit looking to experts, and begin to create the lives they desire.
Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Irreverent Therapist Show.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
So with Capricorn, the 10th sign of the Zodiac, Capricorn, anybody born December 22nd to January 19th, that's the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is symbolized by the goat. So picture that little mountain goat always climbing to the top of the mountain. And actually, it's not a mountain goat, it's a sea goat. So Capricorn starts at the bottom of the ocean, climbs all the way to the top of the mountain. So if you picture that little sea mountain goat climbing to the top of the mountain, that's Capricorn, ever ascending to the heights of their career. Capricorns are hard workers who feel a lifelong inner need to impress others with their accomplishments and, of course, that healthy bank balance. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. So Capricorn not only knows how to get things going, they've got the perseverance necessary to get things done. They're not much for risk-taking, but if it's a calculated risk, most definitely. And sometimes calculated and recalculated. Capricorns are very hard workers, and they like to see returns for their efforts, and read that as cold hard cash. That's right, Capricorns have an eye for the bottom line. Well, it costs more money than it's worth. I always call Capricorns the CEO of the Zodiac. And if it doesn't work out, Capricorns won't do it. Capricorns are all about long-term thinking. But on the other hand, this sign will take a low-paying position as a stepping stone to something higher paid and more prestigious. As I just said, they like to see things, they have long-term plans and goals. They see the future. You know, Capricorn is conscientious and hardworking. It's ruled by Saturn, which is the taskmaster planet that urges discipline in all its endeavours. Capricorns can be something of a stick in the mud, insisting on adhering to the plan, an itinerary, or the routine. They also make incredibly loyal and devoted friends. Capricorn lives by two mottos. Deceit doesn't pay, and it takes twice as long to do it wrong than to do it right in the first place. Aquarius, the 11th sign of the Zodiac. So if you or anybody you know is born between January 20th, February 18th, you're born under the sign of Aquarius. Now, there's a lot of confusion around this sign because its symbol is the water bearer. People think it's a water sign, but it's actually an air sign. So Aquarius is symbolized by the water bearer, the humanitarian of the Zodiac, who brings water to the parched masses and loves to lend a helping hand. More than anything, though, Aquarius likes to feel different from everyone else around them. This sign will hang out with extremely conservative types as a foil to their liberal tendencies. Although its symbol is the water bearer, as I said, it's an air sign, not a water sign. It's also a fixed sign, so it embodies both stability and the urge to roam freely. And I guess that's part of being co-ruled by Uranus, the planet of rebellion, along with Saturn, the planet of discipline. Uranus's changeable, unpredictable nature, paired with Saturn's focused energy, the steadfastness of being a fixed sign, paired with the free-flowing quality of air. Wow. Which influence should Aquarius follow? That's why they can be quite hard to understand at times. They pride themselves on being unique and different. So this sign is communicative, yet guarded, always seeking out the new and the unusual, and yet most comfortable with staying the course. What's that old yarn about Aquarius? They love humanity, it's the people they can't stand. And finally, the Zodiac is Pisces. Anybody born between or around February 19th through March 20th is born under the sign of Pisces. Sweet, sweet Pisces. Pisces is symbolized by the fish. And the fish, it's two fish swimming in opposite directions. That symbolizes this sign. So it's these two little creatures whose scales glint in the sun as they follow where the stream takes them. And just as that stream can symbolize a subconscious mind or the winding path of life itself, Pisces is like those fish swimming along in the currents, taking what comes and throwing off rainbows as it goes. Pisces is a mutable water sign, and it knows exactly how to go with the flow. This sign is perfectly happy following someone else's lead, especially if it's the lead of a trusted loved one. Pisces is a highly romantic and intuitive sign that tunes in on that intuitive level, almost psychic, to its friends and lovers, intuiting their emotional needs and doing what it can to meet them. This is the sign that brings home stray puppies because it can't bear to see them left alone and hungry, which is a wonderful quality, but one that can get Pisces into trouble from time to time. So they're the 12 signs of the Zodiac, and as I promised, I was going to talk about cusps at the end of the show, and a cusp is a mysterious boundary between one Zodiac sign and the next. When the sun or any planet changes signs, it shifts the energies from one to the other. If you are born on the cusp of two signs, you may feel like you embody characteristics of both, but the actual sign you were born under is your true natural sign. Maybe look at it this way. Humans love order. We can't control Mother Nature, but we sure can try. When it comes to time, we've devised all kinds of systems, calendars, clocks, daylight savings in the summer. We run on schedules, but the universe isn't so regimented. How about this, for example? We have leap years because our 365-day calendar doesn't reflect the actual natural cycle of a year, so we adjust for the slight variation with an extra day in February every 4 years. So because the Zodiac does not align perfectly with the calendar, there can be some confusion about when the sun changes signs. But really, there is no confusion. According to astrology's mathematical calculations, you're born under one sign or the other, not both. If you are born on a cusp, you may feel influenced by both signs. Born under one sun sign, it's about all the planets in all the signs at the time you were born. So today's show was all about sun signs. In future shows, I'll be talking about compatibility, about the elements, the qualities, the planets. There's so much to cover. So anyway, thanks for joining me for this week's show, talking about the Zodiac signs. I hope that you shed more light on such a complicated subject and thing. I hope that if you don't feel the characteristics of your sign, this might explain why you have done it 6 times before. Maybe it might have been, wow, that we really need to achieve. The Astrology Show. I'm your host and astrologer,